Hello everyone, welcome back. Hope that you had a nice lunch break. So let's continue with the lesson. 1 second. Right. So yeah, was just testing. So as a recap, let me share the PowerShare. So recap, if we do Docker image ls, you may remember that before we have created this image. That is my username / alpine python and the tag is latest. Once that we have this image, what we can do is we can upload that to Docker Hub. You may find that there are similarities with the when we use Git, that we have our repository on our laptop with the modifications, etc. And once that we are happy, we do the commits, and once that we are happy, we push the repository to GitHub. So here is similar. Well, the thing is that we push the image to Docker Hub. So to do that, we would need to type docker image push and the name of the image, that is juanfrh / alpine python latest. Let's see if that works. Yeah, we see that this is pushing the different layers. Okay, so yeah, we get the just in case that we want to compare that the data transfer has been done good. And now if I go to Docker Hub, let me check. Okay, I see that there could be an issue with the issue could be either the yeah, if in case that you have an issue, could be that maybe you are not logged into Docker Hub, but you can check that if you have the Docker desktop running. Yeah, I think that you need to log into to Docker desktop, and in theory after that it should work. So yeah, or there is a way. I think you don't need a. I think there is a command that is a Docker login. Let me try that. I think if you do, well, we move to try with the Docker login. Maybe that one works and you don't need the Docker desktop. We'll copy that. Also, when I run Docker login, you see that I'm authenticating with the existing credentials, my username, and well, it displays some info that to log in with a different account, you can do Docker logout and then Docker login. Actually, let's see if that, yeah, just to reproduce the error. Okay, it's working, so, okay, perfect. So in that case, if we go to Docker Hub, let me, so this is the address, I will paste that here. So if we go here, well, I will share my, so this is like a, at some point it will show the, yeah. So I need to sign in. I thought I was already, but, oh, well, yeah, okay, this is the, oh, well, you will go to repositories and you see that, yeah, my image is there. That was last push 3 minutes ago. I think if I click here, I will make this, well, yeah, it's bigger. So you see that, yeah, the operating system is Linux, well, the tag is latest, with less than 1 day, push 4 minutes ago. And here I can, if I want to, I would recommend to, if you want to publish something to the, well, you see that the image is public, and this is the number of downloads. Yeah, not sure if it's like a, how like already 21 downloads. But you can add a description, category, you can add an overview. So you can, this is like a similar when you have a, I'm repeating many times about like, but yeah, the example of GitHub. On GitHub also, well, you have README, but you can add some more information. So with this is similar. So we have a tags that is a latest, digest, the image management. Yeah, skip the, but yeah, they have a guide. I don't know if there is the, let me, if I click here in the tag latest. Okay, this is what I wanted to show you. I will make this a bit bigger. This is the image layers. If you see the first one, we use the Alpine, the image that is already the existing one. But we run two commands. We run the to install Python. That this is this command, and this is a image layer. That layer is 40 megabytes. The next layer is to add Python. That this layer waits. So this is well important that if, we'll learn later that if we do modifications, for instance, in the fifth layer, in this one, for instance, we want to, rather than Python 3 version, we want to show the date or hello world or whatever, or a message with some help. If we modify this layer, we will not need to modify the other, the 4, 3, 2, 1. But for instance, if we modify this one, we will need to recompile layer 3, layer 4, layer 5. So if that makes sense. So this is also like a recommendation that reorganize the layers in the and in that way, if you want, if there is a layer that is more prone to be updated or more prone to be changed, to leave it at the end. And in that case, you will not need to recompile previous layers. And the development or the image creation will be simple. Okay, so what else? Well, here in the documentation also appears that we're using if you go here, we're using what we're using, the tags. We are using the latest. But if I want, for some reason, let's say that I want, we have this version, and I want to save it with let's say, I can call it version 1, tag version 1, and create another one. The way to do it with the command line, I will stop sharing and share again. I can do Docker image tag, and I will I want to change we have a /h slash in Python latest. I can use /h line Python v1 version 1. So let's see if that works. And if I do a Docker image ls, you see that I have an image here. So in that case, I can do what we have done before, Docker image push this one, and we will have this image, and this will be called version 1. This is in case that you are not happy with the name and you want to change it so you can use Docker image tag, and you can create a new tag for this one. Any questions so far? If not, what we will learn now is, okay, now we know how to run images, create new ones, but what if I want to, we have created an image that have a Python, and what if we want to run a Python script using that image? We'll see how to do that. So if we go to the folder that is called SAM, you will see here that we have a Docker file, and also we have this script. I'm sure that will work. Yeah. So this script is using Python 3. What it will do is we will add the numbers of the arguments that I'm not sure if I have here installed Python 3. No, I don't have it on my laptop. But doesn't matter because I have a container, so I can execute that. I can execute that. So to run the script, I can use a Docker container run, and Docker container run, I will specify the name of my image, that I think if I specify only Alpine Python, maybe it will work. Python 3 and some.py. Well, here I get an issue, but it's because I haven't specified my username, because the name of the image is username / Alpine Python. If I don't specify the tag, it will use latest. So if I run that, I will get this issue. Python 3 can open file some.py. Why I get this? This is because the container, the file system is different to the file system that we have on our laptop. So one way that is explained on here in the documentation is to mount, to make visible the folder where I am to the container. So how can we do that? Is to using this command that I will paste that in the chat in case that this is useful. Well, I see that there are several questions in the chat. I will address them later if that's okay. So this is the command that I will use to. I will go step by step to. So the command is is a Docker container run. Here I will specify the mount of the folder where I'm now in the container. So I will need the option -- mount type equal bind. This is the one that we will use here. There are other types, but are not needed at the moment. I will need to specify the source. Source will be equal dollar symbol and actually let me one moment, because I'm not sure if that would work. Yeah, it's the so PWD contains, as you see, the where I am now, the absolute path. So if I will copy this here. Source PWD. The documentation use curly braces, therefore security. Comma target is equal, and this is the folder in my the folder that is in my container. So I will use, for instance, /temp. And here the name of my container image on h /alpine python. And now Python 3 some.py. So if I run that, oops, it fails. Okay, fails because if you notice here the error, Python 3 can open file sum.py because the file is not in the on a root. If you notice here, the file is here in /temp. So if I run the previous command and I specify /temp /sum.py, now it works. Because I will not sure if I make this. So just to recap, Docker container run. This is what I need to specify to mount the current directory into the container. So it's --- the type that is bind, the one that we are using, source that is my current directory, and target /temp. And then I call the image that I want to run, Python 3, and the script. So this is the how this is run on the. So if now I will give you like 5 minutes to play with that. The idea you can run it rather than run it like this. What you can do is you can the exercise is to rather than run this, to do it in an interactive way, and you can see that in the folder in /temp you have the script and you can execute it and so on. So I will copy that in the chat, paste, and the exercise is the Python script in. I will give you 5-10 minutes, and we have yeah, we can see the solution from hard past. Okay, I think we can solve the exercise together. The idea of this exercise was to do the same, but in an interactive way. We can see that the contents of the, let's say, your folder that are in our laptop will be the same contents that are on the container. So the idea of running this in an interactive way is if I go here, oops. We will need to add a -it, and here remove this and use sh. Let's see if that works. So you see that the prompt changed. So we are inside the container. If we do pwd, we are in root. So if we go cd temp and we do ls, you see that I have a Docker file and sum.py. So if here I use Python 3 sum.py and put the 10, the answer will be 13. And yeah, you see that in /temp you have the files that we have created. Okay, so next is we have seen how to, we are talking about like making files available in our container. This is one way, and actually this is the recommended way of you mount the folder, and in that case you can use this Python script, because for instance, imagine that you want to use another Python script, or you want to this gives you like a more flexibility to use other Python scripts if you develop them. There is another option, that the other option is to copy the script to the container. This option can be done as follows. We will need to edit the Docker container, the recipe, the Docker file, and add that copy. So this is the same. If we do exit, we will need to use, if we do ls, we have a Docker file and a sum.py. So Docker file I will edit using a notepad. So let me share. Okay, this is now I understand the question that was asked in the chat. This is an error of, I will fix it. It doesn't work. It's APK add Python. It seems that, yeah, in a previous version this used to work, but no, it's APK add Python. And here what I will need to do is I will need to use a copy sum.py, and I will copy that in the documentation. Use home. Well, let's use home. So in that folder, this script will be copied. When I was talking about the layers, this is one layer that will not be modified. This one will not be modified. This one will not be modified. I add this one, and yeah, this will need to be created. What will happen if I do this here rather than this? If I do this, because this is like each layer is like created like one on top of the other, this is a new one. So this one will need to be executed again. This one will need to be executed again, and as well also. So that's why it's important to reorder the layers in a, let's say, smart, clever, intelligent way to avoid rerunning layers that that we have specified in the in our Docker file. So because it doesn't matter here if I have a copy at the beginning or at the end, let's have it at the end. So in that case, we don't need to, let's say, build new layers. I will save this Docker file, and I will switch to, I will say PowerPoint, now it's a PowerShell. Switching, and you will see now if I do, I will do docker image build -t, my name, well, my username on FR8, no, is slash, and I will call it alpine sum. If I do that, sorry, if I do that, it something I'm doing. Okay. What is missing is I need to specify where the Docker file is, and here I haven't specified. I specified Docker image build this argument, but where the Docker file is here in the current directory. The current directory is we use dot. That means that it's translated as current directory. So if we do that, you see that it's quite actually, yeah, this you see this line here. This line has been already done when we created the previous image. We run apk add update Python 3. This is it, and you see that it's cache, so we don't do that line again. This one is cache, so we don't run this layer. So these two layers, actually these 1, 2, 3 are already done, so we don't need to. You see that the generation, the build took less than a second. This one is the one that is new, that is also pretty fast because it's only copy a file to this. And if now if we do docker image ls, you see that we have this image here, and what we can do is we can run in an interactive way docker container run -it for h slash alpine sum sh. And now here I do ls, I need to go /home, and if I do ls, I see that I have my script here there. So I can do a Python 3 sum.py and 10.3, and I will get 13. Advantage of that if you upload that to Docker Hub, is the script is there, so you will not need to. But disadvantage is if you create or you do any modification to that script, you will need to build again the image. So it has its advantages and disadvantages. What I wanted to do more, I wanted to show you, I will do exit and just to show you the difference that it makes. What I was saying of the layers, let's let's change the order and do this. And I will stop sharing and share my PowerShell. So now let's repeat the build of. You see that is running now it's not using the cache layers. It are running it. So the build, rather than taking less than a second, now it's taking more. So that's why I said that we should be careful when when we put the commands in the Docker file, because it could these two layers that they were cached. Now, because we run a copy some home, this will run again. And I mean, in this case, okay, the build is taking, it's not a big deal. It's 15 seconds rather than 1 second. But if the image is more complex, it will take longer. And when we are talking about the images with a lot of dependencies, a lot of stuff, that will take minutes or even more. More. So that's why it's important to get a sensible ordering of the commands in Docker file. There are other alternatives in case that we want to use Python scripts. Smart one would be to use a GitHub repository. So in our, I will switch back to Notepad. So here, for instance, I will, rather than using this, what I can do is I can run git clone and the URL of my repository. And in that case, if for some reason I need to modify the Python script, you will not need to, will be easier to rebuild the container. I mean, the container, how to say that the file is located on the internet, it's not located on your laptop, so you can rebuild the container from somewhere else. This could be an option in case that you have several files and you don't want to copy all of them at the same point. Okay, so this is there any other questions?
Can I ask a question?
Yes, please.
So did I understand correct that putting copy, in this example, putting copy before run or after run, it actually doesn't essentially make a difference other than that if you put before, then it causes to rebuild again from scratch.
Yes, exactly. That's there are no differences. You see that let's say you get the same result, but the only difference is that the build process will take longer because you are rebuilding layers that let's say you don't need to. I mean, in the case that for some reasons you need to rebuild them, good, but that's the only difference, that the build process will take longer.
Thanks.
No problem. So I see a comment in the chat that also I forgot to mention in the morning that all of this is being recorded. So in case that you want to rerun, like have a look at what we have seen before, you can always have access to the recording. And the material is on the internet, so for catching up, it will be there. Okay, so what else? Let's keep playing with this, make some modifications to our image. I will delete this. Well, actually, now that we are here, we're editing the Docker file. One way that we can do is if I have this script here, and the default command will be Python 3 -- version, I can run as a default to this script. So rather than Python 3 -- version, I can do Python 3 /home /sum.py and see what happens. So let's save it. Again, let's move to PowerShell. And now we will need to rebuild this. What I will do is I will in the documentation they use another tag that is a version 1, so I will use it. This is cache. Actually, yeah, this has been pretty fast because all of the layers are cached. So yeah, we only have changed the command that is run on the. So now if we do docker container run /alpine Python version 1, you see that we get the script executed. In this case we haven't specified arguments, so the total sum is 0. But what happens if we specify, for instance, 310? Here we get an error. The error is that the error is that these arguments, these are not the arguments that are. These arguments are not sent to the Python script, are executed in the machine. So when you run the 310, it's like they don't understand what you want to run. So the way to do this is to rather than using CMD, we will need to use another keyword that is called entry point. So if we go, I don't know if there is a moment. Okay. I'm just testing one. Yeah, rather than using a note, because I'm all the time changing, I think there is an editor here that is things are. Being honest, I'm more familiar with Linux and with Windows command line. I'm not that familiar, but I'm an editor that is called edit, and we can edit the Docker file. I will not need to swap Windows. I will be a little bit maybe more clumsy, but well, let's see. So I have this editor here that is, you see that is the Docker file. We have from, run, copy, CMD. And what I said that I will use entry point rather than CMD. So I will use this. And now, as a CMD, I can specify 10, like some arguments by default. One thing that I forgot is we can add, and actually it's recommended to add a comment in case that for some reason we want to make explain what we are doing. We can add the comment run the sum.py script as default, and that will be. So let's build this one and see what we get. If I click Ctrl S, it will show. So now to exit is like I think it's Alt F. Yeah. So okay, exit is Ctrl Q. But well, I can use the. Cool. So now if I build this to build that is a Docker image build, and I will use another tag. I will use a version 2. Well, you see that everything is already cached, but yeah, the entry point and the command is you don't need to rebuild that. So now if I run Docker container run the name of H I'm some tag is v2, sum is 21, but in theory if I specify other numbers, yeah, now it works, because now these numbers, rather than execute them using the share, are the argument of the entry point that we have specified on the oops, I did Docker file. This is the key here. Also, that is, but yeah, this is like is in the documentation in case that you want to override for some reason the entry point. That is a option that is minus entry point, and you can specify that when running the Docker container. This also gives you like some sort of flexibility to in case that you don't want to specify the entry point, or you don't want to specify the name of the script, you can always use that in the command line rather than in the Docker file. That is, this is the latest, and we can yeah, I was checking the. Yeah, let's finish this lesson. Let's have we will have a short break, and we will. I was expecting that we will finish later, but I think we will finish sooner. So we will not. Probably we will finish before 3. Okay, the last option is that. Another version that we can do. I'm explaining all the options that we have, well, like a subset of options that we have when we create the container, and then you can always have a look and choose the one that is more convenient for you. Other option is that you can create an environment well, edit the environment variable that is in your container, and you can add the path where the script is, so you can execute that script without yeah, you can choose because imagine that you have several scripts. You have sum, you have multiply, you have other scripts, and you can specify the script rather than hard code it into the container. Also, my advice is the less things that you, I mean, for convenience, you can hard code this on your in Docker file in your container image. But if you want to make it more, let's say, flexible or avoid like a rebuild the container at the moment that something changed, I will use the command line to specify what you want to run. Okay, so the version 3 of the last version of the container will be edit. So rather than doing this, what we can do is we copy this in home, we'll delete this and delete this. And what we will do is we will add with the end path, we will specify path will be /home and the contents of path. So I'm defining an environment variable that is called path, that the contents of that will be /home. This is to separate directories and the contents of path. And okay, I will need here to also to add because this file doesn't have if I want to run this like in a standalone without the Python, I will need to add execution permissions. That is done if I run chmod +x and it's /home/some.py. This is to add options to py. This is add or update path variable. If you have a fancy editor, this will get like a different color, but yeah, edit is yeah, since that not working that way. Maybe there is a way, but yeah, not. Okay, so this is to recap. Yeah, this is the same, and what is new is that we have added X permissions to the script and update the path environment variable. Okay, so let's save. So this is with Control S and Control Q is to exit. And now let's build the image again, and we will call it version 3. Okay, we have a warning here that is for one that the way is a key equal value rather than key space value. It works, but yeah, it's we should use like the newer syntax. Let's run the container. So if I do now docker container run, the name is fr8/some version 3 here I can specify the name some.py and because this is recognized because it's on the path, I gave executable permissions, and this is so also this is another way in case that for some reasons we have more than one script that we want to run, we can do that. Imagine that we have another script that is a multiply, so we can do something like that, and we will not need to need one container per script, so we can have several scripts in the same container. Okay, so let's have a quick break until let's say 2:15, and then we will continue with some best practices. Also, we can check if you have access to ARCHER2, and once that we are done with that, we can finish for today, if that's okay. Okay, so let's we'll be back at 2:15. Okay, so welcome back. Before I continue, we have seen how to run Docker, how to run containers, how to create them, how to edit them, build, upload them to Docker Hub. This is like now the rest of today's will be like go through some best practices theory, and at the end, if we have the time, check if our account on ARCHER2 works. This is us for today. Tomorrow we will learn a little bit more about Singularity. Any questions so far? Anything that you would like to discuss? As I said, if you have any questions this afternoon, well, the course materials are on the ARCHER2 website, and you can always, if you have any questions this afternoon, you can write them here in this link, and tomorrow morning I can write the answer there, or I can go through them tomorrow morning, because this chat at the moment that let's say we finish today's session will not be available. Okay, if now there are no questions, I understand that we didn't have like that much time to practice, but that's the idea, that we can go through this afternoon. If you have the time, you can review it and let me know if you have any questions. There is a paper that I would like to share with you. Again, it's in the documentation, but the course material, but I would like to share with you is that one that is on the chat, and I will share this tab instead. Hopefully, it's like big enough on the screen. The paper is 10 simple rules for writing Docker files for reproducible data science. And I would recommend to have a quick look to this paper, because it's quite good. Gives you like some concepts that we have already, most of them covered during the lesson, but it will be good to highlight them in case that are not, let's say, explicit enough. Paper is quite, let's say, easy to read. It's explained in 10 simple rules for writing Docker files. Because the idea of learning containers in this course is to make science or data science reproducible. So the 10, we are talking about 10 rules are these ones. First one, use available tools. We can go through them quickly. The use available tools is that if you have already don't start from what we have mentioned before. Don't start from scratch. If there is a Docker file already made or a Docker file that is available on the Docker Hub or in a repository of a model that you want to run, reuse it. Don't need to start from scratch. We have already mentioned that. Build upon existing images. If you want to use R or RStudio, Rocker already provides an image. If you want to use, for instance, a Jupyter, you also have an image. Python, Ubuntu, there are a lot of images that are already created. For models, if you want to use PyTorch, you have an image already done. There are images created by NVIDIA that are also available. So there are a lot of images that are already available for you to use. Use them. No need to rebuild the. Also be clear when you write the Docker file, write it in a way that someone that reads the Docker file will understand it. They mentioned about the document, the Docker file use comments, but well, this is like a general when you use when you write a Python script or a C code, HTML, say any language, a programming language, or yeah, that is good to use comments over there. Rule 6, well, I jump rule 5 specify software versions. So when you install software, it's good that you specify for instance, if you're using Ubuntu, specify what OS version do you want, or specify the tag of that container when you create the Docker file. If you are installing Python, specify what version of Python are you installing, because if not, every time that you build the image using the Docker file, you can get different versions, and maybe the software works in a different way. Rule 6, user version control. That is because Docker file is a text file, you can include that file in a GitHub repository, and you can see the different changes. This is mount datasets and runtime. This is again, if we run a model and our dataset is gigabytes, terabytes, is not, let's say, sensible way to include all of these terabytes, gigabytes on your container. You should mount that and avoid with the command line, using the command line. Also, to make the image one-click runnable, this is what we have learned using entry point and CMD, that you can build the image in such a way that you can run the image and put the parameters, or specify you want to do the symmetry addition and multiplication, and you can run this in a neat way. This is what I mentioned before about ordered instructions that don't, for instance, to the copy, put the copy at the end of the Docker file, so you will not. Here they have like some sort of order. There is like a system libraries, language-specific libraries, installation, copying data, labels, entry point, before. So follow that. Follow that's the suggested structure. Also rebuilding. Yeah, this is in case that for some reason when you rebuild a dependency is no longer working, or something is broken, or there is an update of the yeah, they say that the regularly use and rebuild containers, but this is I was thinking about that, and maybe I like yeah, I will need to read this more carefully, but I think this is in case that for some reason you change the script, or is taking just to check that when you build the container, it will build it will work. And there you have here examples, conclusions, and so on. One example that we have here, in the documentation, that I will run the sample just to show you that it could be the case as well that, for instance, actually this is quite useful if you want, if you don't want, if you will use Python, for instance, you will use it only once, and that's it, and you will not, let's say, don't use it more in the near future. So it's quite, let's say, a clean way to download the image that has a Python. You use Python as much as you want that day, for instance, for a course or for whatever. And after that day, you delete the image, you delete the container, and that's it. You don't need, for instance, in your laptop to install Python from scratch. For instance, if you are attending one-day course, way would be, yeah, download the image, run the Python in that image, and that's it. I'm saying that because, for instance, this lesson is using old carpentries format, and use Jekyll. Jekyll is a tool for websites to create websites, and also to yeah, build them and run them on your laptop in case that you want to see the website. The example that is explained here, that I can run it on my command, on my PowerShell, is that this repository, yeah, these are like previous, I will update that. You download the website in your laptop, and if you run this command, you will be able to revisualize the website in your laptop. The way is, if we go to the lesson here, at the bottom you see, I think it's source. Yeah, so this is the lesson that we are using. Let's say the website is here, is this link, but it's opening. So this is the website, but the source file is this. The source files is this. So what I can do is I can download this. I can download a zip file, and I can. What I will do is I will unzip this file. So yeah, this zip file, and I will make it available on Docker on the folder that we are using. So I will now share my PowerShell and show you. Let's see that it works. Let's see how elegant this is, rather than installing it on your laptop. For instance, I think Jekyll is yeah, this is installed on Linux. I think I never tried installing Jekyll on Windows. Maybe it's possible, but what is it? That's the thing, that if this will be like a one-off or something that you will do it only once. I mean, if you are, let's say, the maintainer of that website and you will use it every day, could make sense maybe to do the installation locally. But well, this is if the container serves that, good enough. So if we do ls here, you see that we have basic sum and we have also the build the website. So we go to cd build the website, we do ls. This is the content of the zip file that I have downloaded. So what I will do is I will mount this directory here. I will mount this on a container, and I will run the container on my laptop, and I can visualize the contents of the because if for some reason I want to modify the episode or the break, and I want to visualize the changes before committing them to the repository, I can do that. So the way this is on the documentation, I will copy that on in the chat. Oops, someone is calling. This is the way I will copy this first in the chat. So this is what I will run on my. So I will. Let's go step by step. So well, Docker container run. We have seen that before. Minus minus rm is to delete the container once that this is finished. Minus 80 to make it interactive. Mount, type a bind source pwe target / server Jekyll. Also, this is the ports that we're mapping. Well, this is like for the website. We're mapping. This is the address of our laptop. That is normally is like that. It's a local host. By default is 127.0.0.1. The port that will be 4000 in the container. Our laptop will be the same. And this is the name of the container. Jekyll the version, and we will run Jekyll serve. The command looks like quite long, but we have seen today all of the steps. So let's see all of the. So let's run this. Now, so yeah, downloading from the repository, downloading the image. Extracting. Yeah, this image is bigger than the ones that we have used. But... Okay, so we have downloaded that image. Taking some time. This is an example that you can do this afternoon and check that it works for you. In case that there are something that is not working, you can let me know tomorrow. Now this is installing on your in the container. There's some packages that are needed. So again, this is not doing anything on your laptop. It's will be in the container, and once that we press exit, all of this installation, all of this, let's say, packages will be gone. Generating the website, still generating. Cool. And now the server is running. Took well, let's see, maybe 1 minute or. And we have now this address. The thing is that it depends in this address is not working for at least on Windows. We need to use 127.0.0.1. So I will type that in the chat. So it will be HTTP. No, this will be 127.0.0.1, and the port will be 4000. So it will be something like that. So if we click on that one, what I will do is I will, I can share this screen, maybe, and you see the address. Window, I think is that this is the, must be this one. So you see here that I'm using 127.0.0.1 slash column 4000, and you see that this is it's working, and I can visualize the course of materials in case that I have done a change. If I exit, you will not see that on the screen. If I press Ctrl C, the server ends, and if I do now, if I refresh with the F, well, I can click on here. Yeah, I don't get because I have stopped the container. But this is useful, for instance, if I want to do some modifications, I can visualize them on my laptop without the need of uploading them to GitHub. And you don't need to install anything. You just need to download the container. That's it. So this is also another example of how containers could be useful to avoid installing software on your laptop and keep the laptop clean. It's true that because you may wonder, okay, if I don't have admin rights, how can I? Admin rights are to build containers, but well, I'm not sure for Docker. I'm not sure if that's. But we will see tomorrow, for instance, for in Singularity, because we will use ARCHER2. And ARCHER2, we don't have admin rights. It's not our laptop. But Singularity is, let's say, a way or like a version of using containers that using containers without the admin rights, and you will see that is quite convenient also for ARCHER2, that could be difficult to install software. If we have everything on a container, we don't need to bother of installing some apps on ARCHER2 in case that we don't have the right permissions, or the installation could be a bit complicated. So the sample that I have showed you before right now is convenient because sometimes when we modify websites that are on displayed on using GitHub pages, if sometimes we commit them and we see that is not rendered the way that we want, actually this is a quite convenient way to, and there are other examples that, yeah, this is like one out of many. Okay, what else? So the last part here is to, this is also theory. I will share this, let's see if I can, actually I can use this, the same window that I'm, we'll try to minimize this. So the title of the, well, it's including the title is like the reproducibility, that having containers, as explained, because we have the Docker file, we have the instructions there, you can reproduce the same steps as I have done to build the container. You can use exact versions of the software that you have used, or also you can use when the container is built versions that for some reasons are no longer available, or you will have them there. And this is what also was explained in the video that was played this morning. If someone else wants to use the same container as you but with different data sets, for instance, they can do so. They can you share the container with them. Actually, you can share it using a Docker Hub, so you will not need to send it across in case that is like quite a big. They can download the container and they can run the container on a. There are cases that, for instance, the data in a safe haven or is in a place that you cannot download the data, or the data is like that big that no, the data is on ARCHER2 or in another server, so you can always share the move. I mean, it would be easier to move the container to other server, other cluster, other location, rather than moving the data. There are a lot of cases that the container is much smaller than the data, or as I said, the data, you cannot move the data to somewhere else. So this is like also a way, yeah, this is what I said with sharing images. Also for, normally this is like for papers or maybe, I'm not sure if you are aware of Zenodo. This is like Zenodo could be used for, yeah, if you have like a more data set or a container, you can upload it to Zenodo. It's a repository where you get a DOI, and you can provide that DOI and say, okay, the container that I have used is there, in case that you want like a, let's say, non-modifiable unique copy. I'm not sure if will be, yeah, it's what it is here, immutable persistent way. I think you can also use a Docker Hub, but in Docker Hub you can delete, you can Zenodo, I think is a bit more difficult to delete. So we click here. Yeah, it's like a you open research repository. That normally this is, well, normally it could be used for, I think it's used for, well, here we have tags. This is a data set, a presentation, software, data set, software. So for instance, if we click this presentation, some people use it for if you want to see a presentation in Italian, you have, yeah, the DOI here, that is also good. You get a DOI of your presentation. And yeah, you see the il futuro del patrimonio culturale, and you see the. So yeah, this is a. some people, what they do with the presentations, they upload them to Zenodo and they get a DOI, they can share it. I think, yeah, this Zenodo supports up to 50 gigabytes. I don't know if this has been updated or not. Also here talks about the container, the granularity of the container, because we can let's say that you have a workflow, you have an analysis workflow. So you can either create a single container with all of the tools that you will use, or you can create many container images, and each one will have a single command on the workflow. There is the positives and negatives of so these are the positives and negatives that for single Archer container images, yeah, it's important to document. It's I think there are a lot of questions in computer science or like in software best practices, etc., that could be answered. It depends. Why? Because you always have here we have two solutions: a single large container image or multiple smaller container images. You have advantages and disadvantages. So you need to ponder what advantages and disadvantages and choose the option that works best for your research. If my advice, for instance, if no, you can have like a unique or like a single large container image if you have several Python scripts that all of the Python scripts have the same dependencies, so you will not need to like have multiple copies and let's say duplicate mm, duplicate images that the content will be pretty similar. But imagine that you have like several Python scripts with several dependencies, several. In that case, maybe it's worth having different images, because in maybe one image would be lighter because it doesn't have that many dependencies installed. Other image could be like bigger. Also, could be the case, I'm not sure, but could be the case that, for instance, several Python scripts will need different versions of the same library of PyTorch, NumPy, or whatever. So in that case, using smaller container images will be, or could be also the reason that one script is in Python and the other script is in R. So you can create, actually, yeah, okay, that's maybe a better example. You can create a container that has Python and R installed, but yeah, that could be quite big. Maybe it's worth having a container with Python that uses Python script, and then another container with R that I can use the R script. That could be like but yeah, this is like up to you depending on there is like let's say no better or no worse solution. You have like all of these options there. Right. So this is what I wanted to talk about or present about Docker. If you have any questions, please feel free to tell me, or I'll keep an eye this afternoon to the Etherpad in case that you have any questions or anything that you try and you would like to ask. I will reply to that Etherpad either this afternoon or tomorrow at the beginning of the session. Before closing, I would like to have a look and see if you can log into ARCHER2. If I will give you a few minutes on let me know if you can log in, good, or if you have any issues, we can solve them. Or but also what you can do, I should be online later today. So if you have any issues with when you log into Archer2, please send me actually I will type my email address here. ed.ac.uk. This is my email address. In case that you have any issues when you log into Archer2, you can send me a message and we can have a look at it. So any questions before we close for today? I guess that today we have seen a lot of material and normal that you don't have questions because you don't have the chance to play with the containers, but please feel free to play with them today. As I said, I will be available to play with the. So thank you so much for attending today. Tomorrow we will see the same. We will see how to run this rather than using our laptop, using Archer2. Okay, so have a good rest of the afternoon, evening. See you tomorrow. Thanks again. Let's keep in touch. Bye. Bye for now.